Hello, my friends. Welcome to Lindy's Magpie Reads. This is my best of 2024 video. So, it's always a challenge for us who read a lot to put together these best ofs. I mean, how do you choose among your children? But I spend a lot of hours reading every day, and in 2024, I read 378 books. I gave 5 stars to about 25% of those, so a big, big list to start with of best. I went through them all. There were a few that I downgraded to 4.75. Didn't have the same impact as when I first read them, but regardless, there's still a lot. And normally what I do is I subdivide everything into categories: graphic novels for adults, graphic novels for kids, picture books, middle grade novels, nonfiction, memoirs, that kind of thing. And that makes it easier to keep, narrowing things down. This year, I was inspired by a couple of different booktubers to take a different approach. So, number one, Eric Carl Anderson did a video of award winners from 2024. And that really struck a chord with me because I'm the kind of reader who happens to really like the sorts of books that juries judging literary prizes also like. So I don't necessarily like the winner of an award, but I find that a literary long list, awards long list, is a great place for me to find books that I am likely to enjoy. So there's that. And the other thing, the other person is Scott of Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, who also reads many, many books. And what he did this year for 2024's best, he made a video that was just the covers of all of the 5-star books that he read in 2024. So, that's what got me thinking. And initially, I split my 5-star books into winners of awards and everything else. And that still left pretty big chunks. So then I made a third division, queer books. Then I had 3 lists of about equal sizes. So the queer books, some of those are award winners and some aren't. So that's what I'm going to present to you today. 3 separate categories. I'm going to start with award winners, not necessarily that they won the award in 2024, but these are all books that I read in 2024. And they're going to be just in alphabetical order by title, except the last 5 titles are my top 5 from that category. And then the second section is going to be the queer books that I gave 5 stars to. Again, alphabetical order by title with a separate 5 best in rating order at the end of that. And then the final category is books that I loved, did not win awards yet, and as far as I remember, or as far as I know, are not queer books. So that is what I've got for you today. I hope you enjoy. Here goes. Aednan, an Epic by Linnea Axelsson. translated from Swedish by Saskia Vogel. This won the August Prize. The Boy from Clearwater, Book 1, by Pei-Yun and Zhou Jian-Xin, translated from Taiwanese, Mandarin, and Japanese by Lin King. It won the Freeman Book Award. Brotherless Night by V. Ganeshananthan. It won both the Women's Prize for Fiction and the Carol Shields Prize. The Collector's Stories, edited by A.S. King, won the American Library Association Prince Award. Doppelganger, A Trip into the Mirror World by Naomi Klein, won the inaugural Women's Prize for Nonfiction. The Endless Steppe, Growing Up in Siberia by Esther Hautzig. This won the Sidney Taylor Award. Family Style, Memories of an American from Vietnam by Thien Pham, won an Eisner Award. A History of Burning by Janika won an Asian Pacific American Literature Award. I Escaped a Chinese Internment Camp by Fahmida Azim, Zumrat Dawut, and Anthony Del Cole, won a Pulitzer for illustrated reporting and commentary. Impossible Creatures by Katherine Rundell, won the Waterstones Book of the Year. A Jest of God by Margaret Laurence, won a Governor General's Award in 1966. The Lost Soul by Olga Tokarczuk and Joanna Konsejo, translated from Polish by Antonia Lloyd-Jones, won the Fiction Bologna Ragazzi Prize. Mexikid, a graphic memoir by Pedro Martin, won an American Library Association Pura Belpré Award for illustration. A New Year's Reunion by Yu Li Qiang and Zhu Cheng Liang, translator unknown, won the Feng Zikai Chinese Children's Picture Book Award. Parade by Rachel Cusk, won a Goldsmith's Prize. The Probability of Everything by Sarah Everett, won a Governor General's Award for Young People's Literature. Radiant Child, the story of young artist Jean-Michel Basquiat by Javaka Steptoe, won both a Caldecott Award and a Coretta Scott King Award at the American Library Association. Rion Bell by Priya Hine, won the Jean Fanchette Prize. Saints of the Household by Ari Tyson, won an American Library Association Pura Belpré Young Adult Award. Simon Sort of Says by Aaron Bow, won a Sybil Award for middle grade. Thunderclap by Laura Cumming. It won the Writers' Prize for Nonfiction and a Scotland Literary Awards Book of the Year. There Is No Blue by Martha Bailey, won the Hilary Weston Writers' Trust Award. And Xanax Cowboy by Hannah Green won both a Governor General's Poetry Award and the Gerald Lampert Memorial Award. So now we get to my top 5 in this category, books that have won awards. So at number 5, The Diviners by Margaret Laurence, which won a Governor General's Award in 1974. This is a Canadian modern classic. I buddy read it with my friends Marilyn Maya Mendoza and Sarah Wallace of Roadworthy. So good. At number 4, Question 7 by Richard Flanagan. This won the Baillie Gifford Award, And he is the first Australian to win both the Booker, that was for The Narrow Road to the Deep North, and the Baillie Gifford. An interesting point, in his acceptance speech at the Baillie Gifford, Flanagan said he would not accept the £50,000 prize money until the fund manager shares a plan to reduce its investment in fossil fuel extraction and increase investments in renewables. Bravo, Richard Flanagan. The book is a blend of history, memoir, and fiction. At number 3, the novel Orbital by Samantha Harvey, which won the Booker this year. I read this back in early March, and I couldn't stop talking about it. Everybody, you gotta read this book. It's so good. Yeah. At number 2, Held by Anne Michaels, which won the Giller Prize this year. And wow, I wish that Anne Michaels would have taken a page out of Richard Flanagan's script and talked to the Scotiabank Giller about their funding. So this one, it was actually a reread for me. I read it originally back in December of 2023. I listened to the audiobook read by the author. I gave it 5 stars then, and then I reread it in print in October this year. I loved it even more. And at number 1, James by Percival Everett, winner of the National Book Award and winner of the hearts of many readers. I really don't have to say anything more about this book. Well, I did listen to the audiobook read by Dominique Hoffman. Highly recommend that. I read this back in April, and it has stayed with me. Way up there. Yeah, love it. Okay, so this next list is all of the 5-star queer books that I read in 2024. And for those that have won awards, I will let you know which awards they have won. And once again, the top 5 books in this category I am saving until the end of this list. Bluets by Maggie Nelson. Bright Fear by Mary Jean Chan. Brooms by Jasmine Walls and Theo Duval. Care of Letters, Connections, and Cures by Ivan Coyote. Day by Michael Cunningham. Death Valley by Melissa Broder. Desert Queen by Jyoti Rajan Gopal and Svabhu Kohli. This won a Stonewall Award. Followed by The Lark by Helen Humphreys. Gay Girl Prayers by Emily Austin. God's Children Are Little Broken Things by Arinze Ifeakandu. This won the Dylan Thomas Prize. Hair for Men by Michelle Winters. I Keep My Exoskeletons to Myself by Marissa Crane. This won the Lambda LGBTQ Speculative Fiction Award. Indian Winter by Kazim Ali. The Jellyfish by Boom, translated from French by Robin Lang and Helga Dasher. The French edition won 3 different awards. Lolly Willows by Sylvia Townsend Warner. Mammoths at the Gates by Ni Vo. May Our Joy Endure by Kevin Lambert, translated from French by Donald Winkler. and the French edition won 3 different awards. Mothballs by Sole Otero, translated from Spanish by Andrea Rosenberg. This won an award at Angoulême. Roaming by Gillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki. It won 3 Eisner Awards. Stillborn by Guadalupe Natel, translated from Spanish by Rosalind Harvey. Okay, now on to the top 5 in the queer literature category. At number 5, The Memoirs of Miss Chief Eagle Testicle, a true and exact accounting of the history of Turtle Island, Book 1, by Kent Monkman and Giselle Gordon. So this is a combo of fiction and nonfiction with gorgeous artwork. The narrator is a supernatural being who's both male and female. And I was so surprised by 2 things: the depth of the warm emotion from the narrator's viewpoint, and also by the depth of the research. And this volume ends at Canada's Confederation. At number 4, it's I'm So Glad We Had This Time Together by Maurice Velacoop, which won the Toronto Book Award. This is a graphic memoir. Velacoop knew he was gay from a young age. He was growing up in a conservative Christian household in Toronto. It's mostly funny. There are heartbreaking moments in it as well. And the cultural details coincide with my own growing up gay at the same time as Velacoop, so that was another reason why I love this. At number 3, Steadfast by Ali Blythe, who's a Canadian transmasculine poet. And in this book, each poem begins with a line from John Keats' sonnet, Bright Star, Would I Were Steadfast as Thou Art. It is exquisite. At number 2, A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth. This won the Commonwealth Prize and also the W.H. Smith Literary Award. I led a group read of this early in 2024, and what surprised me in this book was the page-turner quality of it. It is so rich and satisfying. You get totally immersed in the world, the setting in India, and all of the vast cast of characters. It's great. At number 1, my favorite of all the queer books I've read this year, Glyph by Ali Smith. Now, I am always an Ali Smith fan, but based on what other people had said about this book, I was prepared for it not to be quite as good as her previous work. However, it blew me away. It's a sort of fable-like dystopia with very memorable characters, and the social justice themes entirely resonate right to my core. Okay, so this final list, these are my favorites that I read in 2024 that have not won any awards so far and that aren't queer so far as I know. Anita de Monte Laughs Last by Xochitl Gonzalez. Annibot by Sierra Greer. At a Loss for Words, Conversation in an Age of Rage by Carol Off. Babe in the Woods by Julie Heffernan. Black Girl, You Are Atlas by Renee Watson with art by Ekwa Holmes. Cairn by Kathleen Jamie. Code Dependent, Living in the Shadow of AI by Madhumita Murgia. Committed on Meaning and Mad Women by Suzanne Scanlon. The Copenhagen Trilogy, Childhood, Youth, Dependency by Tove Ditlevsen, translated from Danish by Tina Nunnally. Daughter by Claudia Day. Dispersals on Plants, Borders, and Belonging by Jessica J. Lee. Feeding Ghosts by Tessa Howells. The Fox Wife by Yangtze Chu. Island of Whispers by Frances Harding. The Knowing by Tanya Talaga. Landscapes by Christine Lai. Last Woman Stories by Carly Baker. The Living Mountain by Nan Shepherd. Magnolia Flower by Zora Neale Hurston. Magicale by Shauna Davis with photos by Tunasa Jordana Lugi. Maya's Song by Renee Watson and illustrated by Brian Collier. North Woods by Daniel Mason. Peacocks of Instagram by Deepa Rajagopalan. Shakespeare, The Man Who Pays the Rent by Judi Dench and Brendan O'Hay. Sharp Notions, Essays from the Stitching Life, edited by Nancy Lee and Marita Dasho. Single Mothering by Anna Hamala. Stolen by Anne Helen Lastadius, translated from Swedish by Rachel Wilson Broyles. Territory of Light by Yuko Tsushima, translated from Japanese by Geraldine Harcourt. Viewfinder by Christine D.U. Chung and Salwa Majoka. And Wandering Stars by Tommy Orange. So, we've come to the best of the final category. So, top 5 books that have not yet won awards. And at number 5 is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. This is something that has been on my TBR for more than a decade. So, any of you who feel like, I'm the last person to get to, whatever particular book, you are not alone. And it's always worth reading. One of those books that people keep saying, you're going to like this. I loved it, and I have Marilyn Maya Mendoza to thank, as well as the subscriber Nathan, who made it possible for me to get a digital copy of it. It's a classic. It's an engrossing coming-of-age story set in early 20th century Brooklyn. At number 4, The Light Eaters, How the Unseen World of Plant Intelligence Offers a New Understanding of Life on Earth by Zoe Schlanger. Whoa, this is popular science with astonishing recent discoveries about plants. Really up my alley. It's the kind of book where you just want to keep telling people, did you know? Did you know this? Did you know that? So many amazing things. At number 3, Apples on a Windowsill by Shauna LeMay. Now this is a collection of essays about still life, and it's combined so deliciously with memoir and observations about the role of beauty and creativity in our ordinary lives. It's a book that, it just makes me want to hug, it just feels so good reading it. At number 2, Who We Are, 4 Questions for a Life and a Nation by Murray Sinclair, with Negan Sinclair and Sarah Sinclair. I listened to the audiobook read by Murray Sinclair and his son, Negan Sinclair, and Sheila Rogers reads the second half of this audiobook, which is pulled from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's report. So the first half of the book, the memoir portion, is in storytelling format. So it's like you're just sitting at the table listening to Murray Sinclair tell stories. And if you don't know who he is, he's the chair of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. He's a judge, a senator, an activist, and he died right towards the end of 2024. This is an important book. And number 1, so best of all of this category, great books, is The Age of Insecurity, Coming Together as Things Fall Apart by Astra Taylor. I am currently on my second read of this book. This time I'm listening to it in audio. I'm doing it as a buddy read with Jack from Spread Book Joy. And this was put together as a lecture series, so 5 one-hour lectures that the CBC has been doing for decades. And why I love it so much is because it's given me a lot of understanding about contemporary times, why we're feeling so fearful and insecure, and also why our socio-political system is the way it is, and how we can change it to make it more equitable. You gotta love that. Okay, that's it. All of my 5-star books that I read in 2024. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think of these books that I've read. Have you enjoyed them? Do you have favorites that you've picked for 2024? I want to hear about them in the comments, so please say hello down there. And thank you for a year of wonderful comments. I love hearing from you. I feel like I've made so many friends through BookTube. So I just want to take this time to say I love you all. Happy reading, everybody. And here's to more fantastic books ahead in 2025. Bye for now.